Hello everyone, and tonight we have another post-scriptum pop-up event. This one is a little bit less pop-up with a bit more structure and information set up into it. So tonight we have the Axis and the Allies being the Americans, and it looks like, what have we got here? Ninth that says Panzer. Interesting. Teams are still to be joining, so we have players waiting to join as of yet. Just go over what we're looking at tonight. The German High Command has ordered their men to extract intelligence from American spies that have been captured before they execute them. They must not be executed until German High Command is satisfied on the intel they provide, and so on and so forth. So pretty much looks like the Germans have captured X amount of Americans and will need to hold them in position until X amount of time. Let's have a look here. Who we got? Python in the chat. Just gonna deafen myself for a millisecond. Alrighty. And with that one, we'll be looking at the Americans trying to take them back. What's their exact planning here? Americans, 6 POWs must be saved. Located near the township of Vegel, grid reference E6. Let's have a look at that, shall we? Echo 6, bang on there. Interesting. The Germans have no intention to let these boys out to make it to any of the Stalag camps. Supreme Headquarters Allied Expeditionary Force Chief have drafted a plan for a raid to be carried out immediately to free as many of these prisoners as we can. Okay, so it looks like the Americans will be hitting up with a guerrilla tactics approach of getting back their POWs and escaping. Phase 1, neutralize the guards and secure the POWs. Phase 2, get the POWs out of the camp, onto trucks and make it to the mission end zone. Very cool. Axis, do they have a second phase? Yep. Phase 1, POWs are executed only when authorized to do so. Phase 2, all US forces are killed. So, looks like it's more of a 3-step, being from both teams. Phase 1 is actually the middle, and then depending on how it goes, it's kind of a tug of war from the looks of it. So, where will their POW camp be? I'm imagining this compound that looks like it probably could be a camp, more so like a storage depot, but we'll go with that. This looks like it'd be the position they're going to be putting the prisoners, so this entire compound will need to be defended by the German forces to prevent the Americans from breaching. Since I'm on the Americans, that means that's blue. The Americans are spawning super close. I imagine this will be set up so the prisoners can spawn in and immediately walk over. And we have a large number of other guys on the German forces waiting for setup. The game does not start for another 15 minutes. Hopefully this will give us a good starting position. Alright, we're back, and it looks like we're starting to get some players in here with this current growth. So it looks like we're looking at maybe a 20v20 tonight, depending on how we go and if we've got any latecomers. So we've got our first 2 prisoners from the looks of it. We've got Chubby and Good Thrashing. It looks like our prisoners tonight will be Tank Crew. Tank Crew who spent the last couple minutes absolutely unloading everything they could until they could only hold bandages. These are some pretty boys. But yeah, they'll be stuck in this cage more than likely for at least 10 to 15 minutes, unless they otherwise get shot or something similar. In the meantime though, this is the main gate, the main defences for the German prison. There is small barricades, main bunker, set up quite interestingly, so the opening makes more sense as to if it were an actual bunker being used. So you would walk in from the front, use it to watch the street. Otherwise, more of a checkpoint rather than an actual bunker. We've got another prisoner on the go, Vanilla Head. He's unloading everything he can as well. The rest of the surrounds of this prison are barbed wire on the entrances, but the top of the fence line has lacking defences, which is interesting. Because if you get to some points like, say, somewhere not so tall, there's a good chance that if they manage to get there, they could jump in and over. But I think they might actually be alright, depending on if they get a truck or not. And our rear entrance, bit more of a checkpoint again. Infantry only entry. Not fully built up sandbag wall, but still probably enough to give you a good cover considering it's raised already. So if you're crouching behind that, you could probably get a nice bit of cover against anything. More so, the problem is going to be here is going to be grenades. The Germans are probably going to have to fall back interior from the walls just because of grenades and infantry shooting at them too much for them to handle. Let's see, 3 prisoners. I'm going to assume that the prisoner count has been scaled down due to player count.
Right.
Oh, they're running off. Sounds like they've been told something. He's probably going to find Vanilla Head and be like, hoi through here. This kind of makes a funny like picture for myself here watching this, just because the idea is it's supposed to be a compound, right? Prisoner compound, but the prisoners are kind of just free to run around, do what they want, be like, get in your cells, and they kind of do it themselves, and like, oh, they'll do it when I want. Kind of reminds me of how I would do it if I was a prisoner, just be absolutely refusing to do what I'm told in this sort of circumstance. So we've got 3 prisoners. I'm going to assume that's kind of going to be the limit today, just because of our numbers so far. And I imagine the rest of the American forces will not be spawning on that location, just because that's a bit close. I thought the Germans might be spawning on that, what's that, FOB over there, but that one's not fully built. Neither is that MSP available. I think they might either be in red zones or unavailable. I know the FOB isn't fully built, but this spawn point here can 100% be used by the Germans, just because current attack point is Railbridge, so current spawn point is the factory. A number of players waiting. We've got 2 squads, Papa Dingo and Sheepy's squads starting to load in. Odin has the SL squad for Panzer. I imagine he's going to do that one as a locked position so he can admin. Approaches for this point of the map, kind of difficult. So where will the Americans have available? There's this FOB here, kind of useless in most respects, because I imagine this will just be for the prisoners. Let's have a look. This northwest one up near the attack marker is German. German. Where's the next one? There's a MSP out that way. Wait, what's that one? That's that one. So there should be another one out here somewhere. Those vehicle tents? Interesting. I imagine this is what they mean when get them to the trucks. Makes a lot more sense. And there's a FOB out here which is American. Okay. So the Americans are going to have to cross some real distance to get to this point of interest for their P.O.W.s, but if I'm not mistaken, a lot of this water you'll drown in if you try to get across it. Alright, I thought this was American. Oh, that's an in-place Stug. Don't worry. Interesting. So the Americans will have to cross these fields just to even get close to their prisoners of war. This water, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's shallow enough that you can run across it. That's good. So is all this. This is the same. So this is going to be kind of like just a mustering ground pretty much. I don't think the Germans will be pushing out.
Who needs moving over? I need someone to read it out for me. Marty Dim.
So it sounds like Odin's starting to get set up for players on teams.
Do you want me to start with the Allied?
And
Yeah.
I'll deafen
Okay,
myself
yeah,
while
I'm
this is
gonna
going on.
Move every...
Alrighty, so from these fields, and the fact that we're getting set up already is really good. We're almost on time. 3 minutes from now we're supposed to be starting, so that's good. So with that FOB being there, if that gets built up, I imagine the Germans will have a radius of defense around this point, meaning that these fields might become a bit of a kill zone. If that's the case, I'm not sure if these prisoners will even see their allies if it's a 1 life, but there wasn't in the rules to be 1 life, so we hope it's not, just so it can go on for as long as possible. In the circumstances that the Americans never see these prisoners, I feel sorry for them, and I apologize that you've sacrificed your time, and no thank you so much. But otherwise, these fields are going to be a killing field. That or this wall through here is actually going to be the death pit. If this wall becomes the death pit, the Germans are going to have a hard time. Just because, yes, you can stand up against the wall for cover. No, it's not going to give you that much, unfortunately, against a full team of grenades. So we'll be getting a few squads of 4, it's 5, there's another 3 coming through there. What's that? 9, 12, 3 prisoners. Plus the other ones that might be coming. We're looking at roughly a 20-man team coming through with grenades. If not other weapons, I don't know exactly what their kits are speculated to be. Which means that these walls are going to be as dangerous as they can be, especially from range, even if you're in this sort of position with an MG or a sniper. While your range and sight is good, there are positions that you're going to get pinged from, and there is so much of an angle to hold. You're pretty much just asking for it at that stage. Lens is up there floating. How are we going? We've got 2 squads of 5 and the prisoners. And we've got Andy, McGavin, and Lens. So I imagine 2, maybe 1 of those will be reassigned to a squad. Got a few more in the chat here asking some questions, but that's alright. It's interesting to see this part of the map being used, actually, now I think about it, because while, yes, the objectives do use through here, they don't really come through the back that much. They don't usually touch through this dry land, and combat in a public server doesn't usually encounter it. So it's quite an interesting one, usually unencountered. A lot of the attacks will usually go south of this line, for sure. And we'll be seeing some interesting strategies, because it's so open ground, even though, yes, there is a bit of a terrain differentiation here with slight mounds. I say slight because I mean like you're still aiming across a field there and still looking directly at the wall there. It's very open ground, a lot of kill zones for both sides depending on their approach. And I'm only speculating that this is the approach. It really depends on what the teams decide to do or how Linz has got this one set up. Americans could spawn in off that MSP down the south, or that one just to the, I believe that was the east. That was the east, yeah. This MSP to the east, though, I'm quite unsure of what it is. It might just be for setup. It would make more sense if that were the case, but we'll see how we go. Interesting that it's in the marketplace. Then there's this one to the south. If that one was German, I would hope this one is American. It is. Alright, so with that one being here as well, I'm going to speculate that the Americans have 2 options of approach, or they can do both, where they can come from the FOB, or they can come from the MSP, or they need to get to one of these as their endpoint. Pretty sure the Germans have the upper hand in every case in this map so far, just from experience with previous events, watching, filming, playing, depending on which one you want to be in, adminning in the last event's case. We will be seeing what the go is here. Germans spawning off of that FOB. Interesting, it's red for me. Odin might need to go in there and dig it up if he's got a shovel. He's a squad leader. Don't think he does unless he's logistics. He is running off. Don't know what he's doing. And we have Fury 0517 in with the prisoners. First German to take eyes on his prisoners. So he's got an STG. He's got an STG. Just making sure his prisoners are staying where they are. Look at that. That's a beautiful model. And we'll see if Fury's going to be one of the last men standing. Usually he does fairly well in our events, so we'll see how he goes. Unfortunately, these 3 are known to get absolutely pummeled when it comes to the events, but do really well in game. So, see how they go. Germans starting to stack up quite nicely. 2 squads at the moment, Unicycle and Fury squad leads, whereas on our airborne side we have Papa Dingo and Sheepies. We'll have to be swapping some squads over. Goondaroo taking over a 3rd squad. Oh, we're going to have a bigger German team as well. Now that's interesting. Queensland Thunder spawning here as well, making use of that location spawn at the moment. Odin is going and getting that MSP out of there. It's not supposed to be there from the looks of it, which means that this has now become more of a pinpointed defense rather than a radial defense. Good thrashing. Dig the wire in. Dig the wire in. Is your wire not dug in, my friends? What seems to be the issue with your wire? Oh, I see. So they need to set it up so that people can't get out and their prisoners can't run away, which they can. I don't want to point it out to them, but they can. Getting up on that box is all you need. Vanilla using his binos. They're all using their binos. I'll take a quick good look at them. Oh, there's a man down. Andy's already dead. First death of the night, everyone. First death of the night. Andy is dead. Can't wait for him to be coming back to us later being like, can't believe I died first, guys. Can't believe it. Absolutely insane. That's alright. We'll see how we go. I'm sure he will respawn soon, or he'll go to admin. So we'll see what happens there. Actually, I think he is supposed to be playing tonight. I believe he is, yeah. So what have we got? Got 3 squads, Unicycle, Fury, Goondaroo. Looks like Fury is taking the Logi squad, or was that Goondaroo? I think that might have been Goon. Oh, that's a lot of red. That is a lot of red, for sure. I would not want to be the Americans trying to take this point. That's going to be a lot of rounds being flung in any which way. What's Odin done with this MSP? He's moved it to a very different location than it was before. The American MSP is over this way. It's over there. Interesting. Okay, Odin's gone back to camera mode. Germans spread out hard across that compound already on the southern side of it from the looks of it. Don't have any Americans. We do have Americans spawning in. That is up that way. Across from that FOB. I imagine these Americans will be the primary pushing force. Unsure as to why they chose to spawn here if it was an option. If it wasn't an option, that's cool. But if it was, that seems like a very bad decision. Not only is it one of the furthest away points, it's almost equal to that northeast FOB, it's also kind of an issue. Your access point is that bridge. If the Germans were to spawn on the FOB, you'd be having a hard time. How many people is this? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5? 5 either side. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 strike force squads.
First time I've fired it since the update. Didn't work.
2 strike teams. 2 5-man strike teams. Are you kidding? That's not happening. I'm sorry, people. I don't believe they'll be able to hit it and take the prisoners away. I'm going to be honest. Unless they have free-for-all kits where they get 2 medics, 2 MGs. Alright, they've got unlocked kits, but it looks like they've got some rulings as to what they can have. Team kill, Andy, team kill, Aussie Python. Whoa. That doesn't sound good. Chris, another member for the German team. Yikes, what a big German team it is. They've got scouts on the externals. We've got Python, we got Goondaroo. I think there's another one here actually. Looks like that's 3. Goat 69. Sitting out as a scouting force. We've got 2 out here. Laughing in 6Ps. Vanilla Head died. Chubby. What happened here? Looks like there was an issue where Andy killed Python, which killed 2 prisoners. Ah, they've killed Vanilla Head primarily because they thought he wasn't one of the prisoners. Andy must have killed the prisoners. Oh, and someone mined the front gate. It's always interesting when we do these sorts of things, just because it always results in this sort of thing when someone decides to do their own thing and have a bit of fun and fuck with other people. In this case, Andy's bitten the bullet and had to dig down the wire, and now we'll wait and have to dig it back up. Once Chubby and Vanilla finally get back in, Vanilla back up, he needs to run across. He's got to unload. He shouldn't have to unload, just switch to your bandages, mate, you'll be fine. Chubby also doing the same thing. Just wasted 5 minutes. Yep. What are we now? We are 7:10. We are a little bit behind the schedule. Germans seem like they're still loading in, but that's okay. There's Germans like, that's fine. They're running their tank crew. Just chuck it all in the river if you've got it. Otherwise, just run in with your bandos. You'll be fine. Let's take a look-see here. Are those mines still there? Have they done a weird glitch? No. It was an interesting spot to put mines for sure. Why is there a body in the water? Vanilla, Chubby, good thrashing, 3 prisoners. Shoot him, Vanilla. I would have. Alright, back in with 3 prisoners. Make Andy dig up that. Germans holding each checkpoint and a few high rises and scout positions. Not the worst, but, you know, nice positioning nonetheless. Razor wire is back up there. That position's held. Honestly, that's probably as good as it's going to get. If you guys want to go live, now will be the time. Game now live. So this is going to be, I imagine, our first and probably only round, depending on how long it takes or what they use to break in to get to these prisoners, or if they get that close. This will be one to take a look at, ladies and gentlemen, to see how we go with this. This is a very experimental game mode. Should work, but you never know. Goat 69 holding the houses out here. Python holding the houses across the street. Gundaroo holding the field. Laughing and 6Ps holding the road. Andy moving up to Laughing and 6Ps, or is he inside the compound? He is outside the compound, also holding the road. Interesting positioning. Now, the American units should be able to see on the map this fob, which should give them a bit of an insight as to where the prisoners had to spawn to get into position. They should also know, in general, what location they should be attacking, which would be the factory. Looks like our standard server rules are still cycling up the top there. That's not too bad. What have we got to tickets at the moment? 581 American, 561 German. I wonder why that is. Papa Dingo's unit moving south. Looks like they're going to use 22, get across the water. They're going to come up from the south. Not a bad plan, hitting them from 2 angles, but there is only 10 of you. Your options are going to be thin in terms of teamwork after that. Obviously, you don't want to all get wiped out in one go. This Unit 5 is moving up near this FOB. FOB is spawnable as well.
Well, I mean, they know what you get.
Sharpie is right. If anyone is paying attention to the map as the Germans, they do know you are now there. Because you have just skirted their FOB. This unit's going to have a bit of a task later on. Odin's coming by to take a look at what happened. He just walked past it, don't worry. Nothing wrong with that. It's bound to happen. There's an interesting approach angle. What else have we got going on? We have units such as goats. Which way are you looking, goats? Because that's really going to change what you see here. Using binos? You are using binos. Good move on that one, goats. Looking out in that direction. Unfortunately, they're definitely on the other side of those trees. But if they were to cross in this direction, he might actually see them and get a nice shot off, or at least set up his squad and let the team know what's happening. Prisoners still stuck in their box of wire. A few extra bodies in there now, I assume. Let's see if they've despawned. They have despawned, that's good. How's the team going to the south going? Have they found that smaller, closer crossing? They're getting close to it, and not far off. They could use this. This would be a dangerous path to take, for sure. I haven't seen anyone actually manage to get across that with ease, especially during a firefight, so considering they're not at the moment, they might be able to get there really nicely. Papa Dingo manages it with ease, makes it look like a piece of cake. Squad leading to the max, showing his team how to approach and which way they're going. Lead from the front, as they say. Red Knight, will you make the jump? He looked hesitant. Oh, just. Smarty, just. Tolkus. Just. Last man, primitive punk. Team from the north is almost directly north of the point. Looks like Goats has not seen them. Oh, he's looking in their direct angle though. Nice. Still sweeping. Primitive punk coming for this crossing now. Let's see if he makes it. Honestly, I have a gut feeling that I hope he doesn't. Oh, he's getting some more water in him. Nice late jump. Perfect landing. Now he's got to catch up the rest of his squad. Papa Dingo leading in from the south to this tree line. Interesting choice. What's he going to have as an approach vector from here, though? You cannot cross this water whatsoever. Unless they're coming here to even just cut them off. But we'll see how that goes. He could swing further east. Looks like he might. He spotted that MSP. I believe, at least for the angle that he's looking. Yeah, he's trying to work out what's happening. Good squad leading though, checking all your angles, making sure your guys are going to be fine with your approach. He's going to go check out that MSP, see what's happening, and then skirt off it. The fact that he's come across no contacts as of yet should be a good sign that he's probably safe to keep moving. Now we're going with Sheepy's squad up here in the north. Coming even further around north. These boys must think they're going for trenches or something, because woof, you are running a mile. There's some big binos, holy crap. Jesus Christ. Put them in front of your face if they're fully metal, you might be alright. Crossing an open field, not the smartest idea I've ever heard of, but you know, whatever floats your boat. Butler, Sharpies, Sheepies, Naught, till of the fun, crossing, trying to get to these buildings. From here, they'll have a nice position to start pushing in from. Unfortunately, it does get a little open, but it's not the worst. How are we going to the south there? Squad 2 and Squad 2 should almost be able to see each other. This might be a bit of a concern. Got some boys on the roof here, they should be able to see him. Nobody's down as of yet. Full 5-man team. They should have cover from this building, but have Unicycle and Martyrdom seen them? Unicycle looking nowhere near where he should be looking. Martyrdom looking at the building and the shrub line. Trying to make sure they're not getting outflanked by any means. Not the worst, but you are risking now a few things. Thinning out your defences on every other angle. Papa Dingo moving up into this house. Second floor. Trying to get an eye on what they have. From that window, you are looking at nothing. Maybe Captain Cambridge. Or not really, those trees are really blocking it out. Yeah, it's right, you take a look at that. Hate to break it to you, Papa, but it's not given the exact information you wanted. Primitive Punk over here on the opposite side. What has he got a view of? Bit more. You can at least see that side wall. And you should be able to see sauerkraut, actually. Be a bit of a difficult shot, but you know what? He could. Prisoners are talking. Sheepy's squad getting much closer now, pushing in down these fields through the buildings and the hedgerows. Using the trench line, not a bad idea. Python and Goat in this main building sector. Python looks like he's actually kind of on the ball and might be looking for something a bit closer. Wonder if Python has heard or seen something. Heading upstairs. Upstairs completely. Into the windows that look almost in the perfect direction. Python, if you look to your left, you might actually get a good sight on them through those bushes. So it depends on if they stay in that trench line or not. Southern units, how are we looking? Maintaining position in that those buildings. Primitive did not shake a shot on sauerkraut. He mustn't have a good angle for that range. Doesn't have confidence in his own shot. That's okay though. There's a lot of Germans for 5 to 10 guys to take on. Let me go with Andy. Andy's got 3 kills. Friend or foe. Ah yes, the German commander is on his way to kill the P.O.W.s. Let's take a look here on the map. German commander. 15 to 20 minutes away. Yikes, it's only going to take you 3 to drive here. You're walking from Maine? US forces to the north are relocating, trying to figure out a better approach. Unfortunately, this entryway is not going to be good. It is held by 3 really well positioned guns. Sauerkraut up on this wall prone, so he's got a nice angle to cover his own body with an MG. Not a given try, I think that's a 42. Shots being fired. Unicycle getting taken down. Papa Dingo's squad opening fire. Trying to draw attention. That's an interesting explosive. Martyrdom trying to heal. He might have gotten pinged. Unicycle can be picked up from the looks of that. He's only grayed out. Continuing to fire. Not sure at what. I believe it's P.O.W.s. He's not P.O.W.s. He has a rifle. Hello, hello. Aussie Python getting hit. Martyrdom down there. Aussie Python getting hit off the roof. They're just trying to pick off anyone on the high ground. Not a bad idea, causing them to go low and amongst the houses. Also preventing the return fire potential. Oh, P.O.W.s getting hit in return. Looks like he's revivable though. As long as they stay low, they'll be alright. Stay low, fellas. Get back out into cover. Martyrdom returning fire almost perfectly, to be honest. Allowing himself some time to maybe revive Unicycle. Sheepy's squad moving up super close. Oh, Borgie dead. Must have received some fire. Sauerkraut relocated to the side of the waterfront here. Trying to get in position. Primitive Punk opening up fire far too much. He's giving away his position. He is down, not dead, down. His teammates could come and save him if they needed to, but that MG42 is something to be frightened of, no matter what. So we've got 1 dead for the Americans, 1 dead, 1 down for the Americans, sorry, 1 dead for the Germans. Never mind, there is 1 dead for the Americans. That is most certainly body. That is not. He's only down. No, that's a headshot. He's dead. It's quite unfortunate to die right there on the gate. Chris down. Andy pushing across the field here. Sheepies and Sharpie holding position there. Aussie Python down. Not dead. Sauerkraut relocating, trying to get to a better position. Red Knight moving in to save Primitive Punk, getting back up to help out the squad. Unicycle trying to hold him off with the STG-44, trying to keep him busy. Tossing a grenade? Oh, you're kidding! That was a good grenade, just slightly to the left. If he'd arced it over this wall, that would have been even better. Sheepy's down! Python the Prudent landing a shot out of nowhere.
More bombs.
My thoughts with the grenades are right, just for the wrong team. Not Sheepies down. No, not dead. Sheepies. Needs to be picked up. News from High Command. The commander is at the checkpoint. He's at the checkpoint? He is at checkpoint. Holy shit. Look at him go. Red Knight and Primitive holding down that building. They need to relocate back to their team. Papa Dingo, Smarty, Tolkus looking for another way across. That is so far away. Coming back will be difficult. Laughing is looking the wrong direction. 6 Ps. He's also doing the exact same thing, is he not? He is. They're both looking towards the combat that occurred. Sharpie holding position, hiding. Sharpie down, not dead. Andy pushing through as hard as he can. Sauerkraut moving to get to a position. It looks like he's just trying to hold up. Butler dead, taking a headshot. Sheepy's Sacred Attila remaining. Grenades up the wazoo to make sure they go down. Sharpie can be picked up, but he is not in a safe position to do so. From Attila's position with Sheepies, he could take out Andy and Sauerkraut, even Unicycle, but their positioning is not safe enough. Andy looking the other way, trying to make sure they're not coming back in from that direction. Surely these boys are being heard. Sauerkraut should have heard or seen that. Looking out that direction. Seeing the smoke grenades land. Grenade gets both of them. That's a wipe for that entire squad. Primitive Punk, Red Knight, slowly but surely moving across. Sorry, Red Knight is Primitive Punk. Trying to retake this building. Fuck mines. That wasn't a mine, my dude. That was a really well placed grenade. Primitive Punk trying to unload some fire and keep him up. There's no more placing mines. Gonna be honest, I don't think that was a mine. It was a mine. That's unlucky. That is extremely unlucky. Now with the rest of the American squad, only 5 remaining. Sharpie down, but not dead, so he can be picked up if they manage to get to him. See how they go. Laughing and 6Ps now looking in the wrong direction just because of all that combat that did occur. Primitive Punk managing to keep their positioning confused. If he survives there and keeps up the fire, the Germans will have an issue as to figuring out where the enemy is coming from. Just has to stay alive. Commander has decided to stop off at the cafe in town. Alright. Hold on. What? Odin is the commander. Let's take a look at his stop off at the cafe, shall we? I'm sure the Americans will be fine for a second. Over there. Chubby fat man, it broke. The razor wire broke. He's running. Commander, what are you doing? Enjoying your time at a cafe? Well, he definitely parked out the front of the cafe, but he's acting more like someone in a war zone and just casually taking angles and making sure he's in cover. How we go with that American front? Deaths. Primitive Punk, dead. No way. There's a red bar above his name. I believe he has been taken out. Quite unfortunate, mainly because without his position covering fire, The Germans will now retake the positions to overwatch everything as long as they're pretty sure he's dead. My command is now at Town Hall. Fuck, he moved on quick, didn't he? He only moved 6 buildings. What an update. Now I have 4 guys. 4 guys. 4 Americans trying to get in and save effectively 4 Americans. Sharpie down over there. Sharpie given up. Yikes. Okay. Might be worth actually killing the commander.
Cầm những cái trên lên.
Single grenade would take them all out, but no one knows they're there.
Just gonna walk here from here on now.
I hope he's not talking locally, because these two will hear it if they do it too much. Laughing, looking directly down the road, not a bad idea. 6P is looking down the other way. These Americans could get to them and take them out. Would be smarter not to if they can. Goon sitting in his bush over here, waiting. Captain Cambridge blew himself up beforehand, that's okay.
He looks like he's looking at beer. Beer?
Prisoners asking for beer. Odin, commander, super close. He's not getting that vehicle through the razor wire, but he'll give it a go, I imagine. Who's shooting? And why? Americans moving much closer. They've gotten past laughing and 6Ps. 6P's still looking this way, though. Tolkus down.
Too high.
Even if you like jump on my head, jump up. Vault. No.
Nope.
They're
Okay.
ignoring the potential contact down the trench. Red Knight down, not dead, can be rescued.
From the back.
Don't go for him, Smarty. Don't go for him.
6Ps could take them both out. Papadingo's being nicked. Returning fire. They've not gotten either of them yet. Need to reload. Tosses the grenade. They're firing at the random trench line over there. No one knows exactly where they are. Papadingo down. Smarty, last man standing. Will Smarty take it? He's not in a good position to. He's used his morphine.
Use it. Fuck.
He's already used his morphine. He must use it on primitive. And Smarty's down. That'll be all the Americans down and or dead. I believe that will be a hold for the Germans. They're just waiting for their commander to walk in and take them out. German commander has arrived. Ah yes, the German commander has arrived. The American forces have been taken out. This German commander could take even longer if he wanted to walk there. Nein, wir fix fence. There's a man down on the roof.
Time to hide.
Commander is now here. He's got 3 prisoners to kill. Oh, he's escaped! Vanilla Head has escaped! He's getting the fuck out of Dodge. He does not want to be there anymore. Good thrashing. Also trying to escape. Oh, good thrashing's down. That leaves Chubby in the corner. Odin with a team kill. Queensland Thunder opening up. Chubby is still alive in that corner.
Nick Sheet him.
Oh, and that would be it. That he's still crying as he dies. That is unfortunate. That will be the end of that round. I'll stop the recording here and I'll do a bit of jump cutting just to fix that up. It's a bit of a long time. And we'll see how we go. Team kill, Christ's sake. That was an Andy mine. Interesting. Alrighty, let's go to the Steam and see how we go. Thanks everyone for watching tonight's event. This was a event created and run by Lins244 from AussieRumrunners. And from here, I hope you enjoyed. See you all next time.